The room was silent except for the faint hum of the bridal salon's lights. Racks of shimmering white dresses surrounded Maya Thompson as she stood in front of a towering mirror, her breath quick and shallow. She'd dreamed of this moment since childhood, finding the perfect wedding gown, but now it felt like a nightmare. Across from her, the salon manager, Mrs. Wexler, folded her arms and delivered a cutting sentence that sliced through the air like a blade. "I'm afraid the price of that dress just went up," she said coldly, her voice dripping with a polished superiority. "It's now double the listed amount. If you can't pay immediately, I'll need you to remove it." Maya froze. Her hands, which only moments ago had been smoothing the delicate lace along her waist, tightened until the fabric trembled. "Double?" she whispered, her voice barely carrying across the glossy floor. "But the tag says 1,500. You can't just—" "We reserve the right to change pricing at any time," Mrs. Wexler interrupted, her lips curling as if daring Maya to argue. "And for you, this is the new price." The other brides and their families, who only moments earlier had been laughing and sipping champagne, fell into an uneasy hush. Their conversations halted mid-sentence. Some turned away, pretending to examine veils and shoes. Others openly stared, curiosity wrestling with discomfort. Only one person moved. Lena, Maya's best friend, who stood a few feet away holding her phone discreetly at her side. The small red dot of her camera flashed faintly as she recorded everything. "Is there a problem?" Lena asked, her voice steady but sharp enough to cut through the tension. "No problem," Mrs. Wexler said quickly, a forced smile tightening across her face. "Just policy." But Maya could feel it. This wasn't policy. This was punishment. Something in the woman's gaze made the back of her neck prickle. Just a few hours earlier, the day had begun with unshakable excitement. Rain glittered across the city sidewalks as Maya and Lena hurried through the bustling downtown streets. Umbrellas bumping against strangers as they rushed toward Maison du Mariée, one of the most prestigious bridal salons in town. The building itself gleamed like a palace, its tall glass windows glowing with soft golden light despite the gray drizzle outside. "This is it," Maya had whispered, clutching her coat tighter as they stepped inside. "The dress of my dreams is in here somewhere." The lobby smelled faintly of roses and expensive champagne. Crystal chandeliers reflected off marble floors, creating a dreamscape of sparkling light. A piano melody played softly in the background, every note promising romance and luxury. At the reception desk, a young consultant named Chloe appeared. Blonde hair tied neatly in a bun, pearl earrings glinting in the light, she smiled, too briefly to feel genuine. "Welcome," Chloe said crisply. "Do you have an appointment?" "Yes, for 2 o'clock. "Maya Thompson," Maya replied, returning the smile despite the consultant's cool tone. Chloe's eyes flicked over Maya's face, then down to her mocha-toned skin before she forced another tight smile. "Right. Follow me." The first red flag came when Chloe led them to a small, dim fitting room at the very back of the salon, instead of one of the spacious suites near the front. Plush curtains and chandeliers adorned the larger rooms, but this one felt cramped and shadowed. "We're busy today," Chloe explained curtly, though the front area remained conspicuously empty. "Is that normal?" Lena whispered once Chloe left to fetch dresses. Maya brushed it off, though unease coiled in her stomach. Maybe they're just short-staffed, but the signs kept coming. Dresses Maya admired were suddenly unavailable in your size, though she overheard another consultant offer the same gowns to a different bride minutes later. When Maya pointed out a lace mermaid gown displayed on a mannequin, Chloe hesitated. "That one is very expensive," she said slowly, her voice softening into a false sweetness. "Perhaps something simpler would suit you better?" Maya frowned. "I'd still like to try it." Chloe's lips tightened. "I'll check if it's clean," she muttered before disappearing for an unusually long time. When Chloe finally returned, she held the gown with a stiff grip, as though it might shatter. "Careful," she warned as she handed it over, her eyes narrowing slightly. The moment Maya slipped into the dress, her breath caught. It was perfect. Ivory silk with delicate beadwork that shimmered under the soft lights. Every tiny pearl seemed to hold a story. She stepped onto the pedestal in front of the mirror, her heart soaring for the first time all day. "It's gorgeous," Lena whispered, eyes shining as she snapped a discreet photo. "This is the dress, Maya." Before Maya could respond, the door opened sharply. Mrs. Wexler entered with a brisk stride that commanded attention. Older than Chloe, she wore a tailored navy suit and a practiced smile that never reached her calculating eyes. "This is our exclusive Versailles collection," Mrs. Wexler said, circling Maya like a hawk inspecting prey. "It's a premium piece." Maya met her gaze in the mirror. "The tag says 1,500, she said cautiously, her fingers brushing the price with quiet certainty. Mrs. Wexler's smile thinned into a razor line. "For some clients, certain gowns require special pricing." "Special?" Lena repeated, her brow furrowing. "What does that even mean?" "It means," Mrs. Wexler said, her voice like ice cracking across a lake, "the price for this dress is now $3,000. The words hit Maya like a slap. "You can't just double the price because that is our policy," Mrs. Wexler interrupted. "If you cannot pay, I'll ask you to remove the dress immediately." Maya's pulse raced as she faced Mrs. Wexler in the full salon. Bridesmaids and mothers looked on, whispering behind manicured hands. Some raised eyebrows. Others looked away, pretending to be engrossed in their own selections. "This is discrimination," Maya said firmly, her voice carrying across the showroom with a clarity that silenced the murmurs. "You're raising the price because of me." "Because of my skin color." Gasps rippled through the room like a sudden gust of wind. A few customers exchanged uneasy glances. Mrs. Wexler stiffened. "That's a serious accusation." "I assure you, I have it all on video," Lena cut in, stepping forward and holding up her phone. "Every word you just said. I'm recording this live." Chloe paled. "You can't record in here." "There's no law against recording a public interaction," Lena shot back, her voice ringing with defiance. "Especially when you're breaking consumer rights." Maya's knees trembled, but she stood taller, gripping the edge of the pedestal for balance. "I'd like a written explanation for this price change." "Right now." Mrs. Wexler's mouth opened, then closed. Around them, other customers began murmuring, some pulling out their own phones, others nodding in quiet solidarity. "This is unacceptable," one woman muttered loudly. "Is this how you treat people?" Another demanded, glaring at the staff. The tide of the room was shifting. Before Mrs. Wexler could respond, the door burst open with a sharp, metallic click. A woman in her early 50s strode in, her tailored cream dress and confident posture announcing authority before she even spoke. Vivian Hart, the salon owner, had returned from a business meeting earlier than expected. "What on earth is happening here?" Vivian demanded, her voice slicing through the tension like a blade. Her sharp eyes swept the room, taking in the tense crowd and the glowing phone screens. "Just a misunderstanding," Mrs. Wexler said quickly, her face flushing. "This client—" "Client?" Vivian repeated sharply. "Why is half the salon filming this so-called misunderstanding?" Lena stepped forward, her phone still raised. "Your staff doubled the price of a gown the moment my friend tried it on. We have it on video." Vivian's eyes snapped to Mrs. Wexler. "Is this true?" Mrs. Wexler stammered. I was only—" "Enough!" Vivian cut her off with a single commanding gesture. "You are relieved of your duties. Effective immediately. Please leave the premises." The room erupted in shocked whispers. Mrs. Wexler's face drained of color as she struggled for words. But Vivian's unwavering stare left no room for argument. Vivian turned to Maya, her expression softening into something almost maternal. "I am so sorry for what you've experienced. This is not who we are." She glanced at the dress, her eyes warming. "The price is exactly what the tag says. And for the harm caused, I'll offer you a 50% discount if you'd like to purchase it today." Maya's throat tightened. Relief, anger, and vindication swirled inside her like a storm. "Thank you," she said, her voice thick. "I'll take it." As Chloe helped Maya out of the gown, this time with genuine care and even a whispered apology, customers approached to offer quiet words of support. One elderly woman squeezed Maya's hand and whispered, "You stood so strong, dear." Don't ever let anyone treat you like that. Another handed Lena a card for a local civil rights attorney, just in case. Lena kept her camera rolling as Vivian personally escorted them to the checkout counter. Chloe carefully boxed the gown, adding a handwritten note of apology and a small bouquet of white roses. Outside, the evening air felt crisp and clean, washing away the salon's suffocating tension. Raindrops still clung to the sidewalks, glistening under the streetlights like scattered diamonds. "You were incredible in there," Lena said, sliding her phone into her pocket. "The whole city's going to hear about this by tonight. I'm posting the video as soon as we get home." Maya exhaled deeply, a slow smile breaking across her face for the first time all day. "Let them. Maybe next time they'll think twice before treating someone like that." As they walked toward the subway, people passing on the street smiled at Maya, some offering quiet nods of recognition as if they already knew the story. Perhaps word was spreading faster than they realized. Maya tightened her grip on the box containing the gown, a dress that now symbolized more than love or marriage. It represented resilience, dignity, and the refusal to be silent in the face of prejudice. For a brief moment, she pictured her wedding day, standing at the altar in the dress she had fought for, surrounded by family and friends who would know the story behind every stitch. The memory of the confrontation might never fully fade, but it would also never define her, because today, she hadn't just found a gown. She had reclaimed her voice.